Okay, so I'll be using okay, I should use EU. Okay. I'm using the chart, but I've deleted some tools that you use. Okay.
Click on rotate, click on the rotate folder.
What's that?
Okay.
Okay. I want to show us some things on Euro USD. I'll be using Euro USD for this our practical class. Let me start from bigger time frame so I will get a bigger picture of what we are about to do. Let me start from previous market price. Let me start from here. You can see where trend line are broken. Okay. Okay. Let me draw a trend line from here. No, when I'm talking about trend line, I would love to take us through some theory about trend line, but let me check if you have some PDF here. Okay, so I'll be sharing my screen with us with the little theory about trend line. And before we go into practical section, we must have idea of what we are talking about. Let me check. Okay. Okay. Only three. No. Let me just tell you this. No. All right. Well, when drawing your trend line, you will need at least two points before you can join a trend line. When we're talking about line, at least you have idea what we call line, but trend line is just like a diagonal line that will connect two or more points, 2 or 3 points together for us to have a good trend line. I will show some example here. It said only 3 trades on priority. Don't need that. Don't need that. Okay. Now, when drawing your trend line, you will need okay, this is an example of a trend line. You need this 1 point, second point, then you can draw your trend line. Then you can see before a trend line can become very valid very important, it was connect at least three. When you now have the third point connected with the initial 2 points that you used to draw your trend line, it make the trend line valid and very much important for you for the market to follow the trend. I'm not even sure I'm seeing what I'm looking for here. The trend line trading system also allows us to get in at almost the beginning of a new trend or start of market swings, top or bottom, or if you miss the beginning, you hope along the way. And this makes it one of the best swing trading systems, simply because it does not involve indicators, but just an ability to trend a trend line and use that with price action alone. This is just an example. Let me bold on the screen. This is an example. You can see when drawing a trend line, you will need yesterday I talked about candlesticks. The candlesticks are very much important also, and I said it's very much important when it form at a support or at a resistance. And when a candlestick form also at the peak or at the trough of a trend line, then you see that the candlestick is sending you a very significant signal. Let me take go back to the practical class. Let me stop sharing my screen. Okay. When drawing a trend line, I said it earlier, when drawing a trend line, you need at least 2 points, 2 significant points. Let me take this one as first point, second point, and I can draw my trend line regardless of anything that happens next. That is a trend line. This is my first point, and this is my second point. You can see what happened next. The price was going up here, and there was a retracement, and it came on the trend line, and the market reacted on the trend line. It's buy a little again and goes up. You can see what happened here. This is a signal for me that the trend line is getting weaker, or a trend is about to change. I will see discuss with us about pattern. We have what we call pattern in trading as well. But let me just focus on this trend line. You can see this trend line started here. This is a new trend. It started here. You can see even when the trend was about to start, this candle. When this trend is about to start, you can see a particular candle form here, which is a hammer candle or a pin bar. I said yesterday that a pin bar. This means that we were in a downward trend earlier, and when the market got here, the buyer pushed the market back up, and there was a start of a new trend. You can see when the candle formed here, there was a bullish candle that formed next, which confirmed that the new trend is about to start. And you can see the second point here. You can see another pin hammer also, a hammer candlestick that formed again on top of a new of this trend line, which making it the second point for me to draw my trend line. And you can see what happened at the top point. You can see that the market reacts on that trend line, and it goes back up. But at this particular area, this trend line was broken, but it was not totally broken. The market broke the trend line, but goes up again. But let me show you something. The market broke this trend line, but was unable to go above this resistance. This is like a resistance, but this is a support. This trend line is not acting as a support. This trend line is not acting as a support. This is an uptrend, and this is an ascending trend line. We have two types of trend line. We have a descending and ascending trend line. This is an ascending trend line, which is also a bullish trend line. Understand? So the fact that this trend line was broken and was unable to go above this resistance here, you understand? But it goes up a little. But later on, the trend line was broken again. It goes up, was broken again. It's just saying that this trend is about to end. The bullish trend that we are having here is about to end. As a trader, you have to pay more attention on this trend line. For you, if you are on a buy already, you have to be kind of preparing yourself to get out of the market, or you take in some profits. And after this thing now, this one now was broken with a bullish and with a bearish candle. But what happened was that no bearish candle was formed next after that candle. That means that no, the trend line is not ready to be broken. Then you have to wait a little. Here again, the trend line was broken, but the buyers put it back up. That means the buyer are saying no, we are not tired. But the sellers are saying no, you have to stop your trend. Let's start a new trend. You can see there was some price action forming here. You can see a doji here. You can see a pin hammer. A lot of price action there, a lot of rejection. The sellers are rejecting the market. They said, no, buyers, it is time for you to get out of the market. But here now, you can see what happened here. The trend line was broken, and the bearish candle was formed again. And you can see what happened next. There was a new trend that formed. The market sold a little. Is it? The market sold to some points. If you place a sell order here now, at least you will make some profits of about 130 pips. So the market sold. After here now, there was a support again. You understand? There was a support here. The market got there. The seller got tired, and they pushed the market back up. And when the market got here again, they got tired. Here now, I can say, okay, I want to draw on that trend line here. That was the end of that trend line. It was just a short period of time, maybe maybe 2 or 3 days trend line. the trend started on the 30th of September and ended on the 29th of October. That was a month trend. The market was in a bullish trend for a good month before it was totally broken. And before it got broken, there was a pattern that formed, which is we call this one double top. There was a double top which indicate that the buyers are not going above this particular area. The sellers are rejecting the market. And you know what happened next? The market sold to some point. I know there was a rejection also here, which put the market back up. Again, as a trader, I can say, okay, after observing some things in the market, I can also draw another trend line here. You can see, when we say a trend line, it will be very much important if you draw your trend line on a bigger time frame. ADB talks, ADB says something about time frame, about 1 hour. We have 1 hour, we have 4 hours, we have a daily time frame. Also, we have weekly and monthly time frame. It will be very much easier for you or for a trend line to be more valid if it is drawn on a maybe 4 hours time frame or daily time frame. This trend line that I'm drawing here now is being drawn on I'm drawing it on a 4 hour time frame, which make it more valid. If I don't want to take this point as my second point, I can as well take this second point as my trend line, as my second point for this trend. You can see, this is the power of trend line. The market will be reacting on the line, but before you can get a valid trend line, you must have at least 2 points. 2 points, and there must be a space between the first and the second points to show you that the trend line is very much okay. This is my first point, and this is my second point. You can see what happened here. Let me zoom in now. Let me zoom out the charts. You can see this is my first point and this is my second point. You can see what happened here at the third point. You can see this price action candlesticks that form here. This is a pin hammer. That's why pin hammer is very much important. You have to pay much attention at some candlesticks, even at some maybe support or resistance. When I draw an ascending trend line, it is automatically my support level, but it is not horizontal, it is diagonal. But the market will be using the trend line as a support. You draw the trend line, but as well you are communicating with the market. Why the market is also communicating with you with some candlesticks. This is my second point, and this I only need to, if I'm in this market when this trend begin, I will draw this, I will pick this my first point, second point, and draw my trend line. Let's assume that this candlestick has not formed yet. I will draw my trend line. But for a trend line to be more valid, you need the third point. You can see what happened here. This, I can pick this as my third point, but at least you have to wait because there must be some distance between some point of your trend line. And you can see what happened here next. This third point. You can see a pin hammer candlestick that form here. If I'm a trader and this thing happens, I will place my buy stop order here. I will place my buy stop order here, and if I did that, at least I will have some maybe 40 or 50 pips. That's also much for me, at least for a daily trader. Regardless the loss that you use, 50 pips is much for you as a daily trader. But if you are a trader that you want to hold a position of maybe 2-3 days, you can leave it and see what happens here. But your focus should be on your trend line. That means you have to put your stop loss little below your trend line. And you can see what happened next after this trend line was broken. There was the market sold a little to some points, so about 50 pips also. And after that, this trend line, if I want to make this trend line longer, this trend line that was acting as a support initially was now acting as a resistance. You can see when the market got to this trend line again, the market got rejected, which says that the trend line that was acting as a support before is now acting as a resistance. And you can see what happened after the market got to that resistance, the market went back down. These are what traders are making, are observing in the market before they can make some decision. So if I combine my candlesticks with a trend line indicator, then I can make, at least I can, there are some traders that use only trend line and candlesticks to make decision in the market, and they make their money. They make their money. They don't wait for any other indicator to make their decision. Once they combine 1 or 2, 3 indicators together, they can make their decision. Also, this trend line is acting as a support and resistance, alongside with candlesticks and alongside with trend line. That is 3 indicators for you. With that, you can make your decision and start making your money. You can start trading with that. I want to show us a new trend line that I drew. I drew a trend line last week, but I do that trend line on a bigger time frame, which on a daily time frame, no, on a 4-hour time frame on this particular EU. And there is something that is reacting on that trend line presently. Let me adjust this thing. I do this trend line last week on my own very own chart, on my own very chart. You can see something. I do this trend line with this first point and this second point. I do this with 1 and this second point. And you can see what happened here. Let me zoom out the market. You can see what happened here. There was also a pin hammer. You have to pay much attention on your trend line. Before you can see a trend line is about to break, or maybe a trend line is getting weakened. You can say maybe you have to pay more attention when the market is reacting on that trend line. You can see what happened here now. After this candle was formed, there was a bearish candle, but this the buyer pushed back the candle. And what happened is there was a pin hammer that formed here. So if I'm a trader now, I can say even if I haven't entered any buy with these two points, I can enter my buy here at this place, little above this previous bullish candle. Okay, you can see what happened. I said something yesterday about morning star candlesticks. You can see what happened if this thing is not much zoom. Let me zoom it out. This was a bearish candle, and this was a pin bar, hammer candlesticks. And you can see what happened here. There was a bullish candle that formed next to that pin hammer, which make it a evening star candlesticks. With the combination of these 3 on this trend line, I can say the buyer are rejecting this small bearish trend. This is a small bearish trend. As a trader, I can't say this is a bearish trend. I can say I can call it a retracement. There's something we call retracement in the market. When the market is on a trend, then the market might need to rest. So the market might need to retrace a little before they continue the trend. This candlestick that formed here show me that no, this trend continued. This was a bullish trend, 1, 2, and I do my trend line. This was a bullish trend, and the market got here and it rests a little. If I'm here, I can't say maybe the market is about to reverse or to begin a new trend. I'll have to wait for it to break this trend line. If this trend line is broken, then I can say, okay, the markets have changed trend. When as long as the market is still respecting this trend line, then I can say we are still bullish. And you can see what happened next. The market went bullish to some extent, at least to about 490 pips. Even now, even 500 pips before the market rests. And after this, now the market is now coming. No, the market came down a little after some rest, and it formed another candlestick here, which is a price action. And around this area also, you can see what happened. This evening star. This is a bullish candle, a pin hammer, and also a bullish candle. I can say after this little rest, I can say this bullish is about to continue. But I will do something. I will pay more attention to this area. The market got to this area, it got rejected. The market got and went back to that area, it got rejected. Also here, after this evening star price action, I will pay more attention to this place before I can say, okay, the market is still bullish. Understand? But as a trader, if you are in this market from this area to this area, you must have gotten a significant profit. You understand? And here you at least you have take your profit out and wait for the market to react on your trend line. because the trend line is still much valid. And the market went up, and there was a rejection here also, which the market is coming down to this trend line now. Presently now, ADB said that there was a sell order that he sent to his students this morning. Even yesterday, ADB has been selling this EU yesterday, since Monday, rather, since Monday. What happened is that he saw this rejection at this resistance area, this rejection at this resistance area. We bought this market here. We bought this pair at this point. We bought it. We took our profit, and we wait for some retracement. We bought another. We entered another position here, and we took in our profits. But at this area, we have to pay more attention to it. This is a rejection area. This rejection area now, if I want to take this my time frame back to a larger time frame, you see that rejection area is a significant resistance area. Let me show us. You can see this rejection area. It's a resistance area where you have to pay much attention to. Here now, I can say that the market is about to change trend here now, because the market got to this area now. There was a massive sold, a massive sell on this pair when the market got to this area. But after it got to this support area, the market went back up to this area. So with this, you can see that the market is being rejected at this resistance area. But you have something which is telling you and which is acting as your support here, which is your trend line. So you have to pay more attention. But you can't wait for this trend line to be broken, because there's a rejection here. You have to enter earlier. If you are not a daily trader, if you are maybe a daily or a weekly trader, with this trend line, you have to wait for this trend line to be broken. But if you are a daily or a weekly trader, you'll be having maybe a big portfolio of about $50,000 or even $20,000. But for we retailers, that we only have portfolio of maybe $10,000, $5,000, $1,000. We have to be making profit daily. Little. At least you have to be going little. We are not much. We haven't got to the stage of maybe placing a trade maybe once in a day, or maybe once in a week or once in a month. We have some traders. Like that only trade maybe once in a week or once in a month. So as a daily trader, once you see this rejection at this resistance area, you have to know that bullish is getting the buyers in the market are getting tired. The sellers are entering the market and saying, no, your trend is about to finish. So we have to come in. So this is what happened next. This is what happened next. The market came down back, but it's still reacting. You can see what the market is doing on this trend line. This market is still reacting on this trend line, which is acting, which is my support. I did this trend line as a support and also as a trend. Before I can say that the sellers has finally taken over this trend now, this trend line has to be broken. Before I can say this, the sellers have taken over this market, this trend line has to be broken. But I as a daily trader, I can even ADP begin selling this market on Monday, which is about 100 pips. Which is about 100 pips. You understand? And every day, you keep on adding lots as a daily trader. Monday you sold a little, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But now we are paying much attention on this trend line, either to get out of the market or we can continue this trend. So you have to pay much attention. This is the power of trend line. You can see what happened here from this point to this point. Before I can, to get more valid result on this trend line now, I can say maybe I should go to maybe smaller time frame to see what is happening there. You can see what is happening on this smaller time frame, on this 1 hour time frame. You can see what is happening. The buyers are pushing back the trend. The buyers are telling the seller that no, I have to continue my regime. But we have to wait. We have to wait for more confirmation to know that if this trend line is still much valid. But for me, the trend line is still valid at this point, at this particular time. But we have to wait for some for this trend line now. I have to wait maybe for a price action to form before I can say this trend line is still valid or is about to be broken. So that's the power of trend line. Like I said, if you combine trend line with support and resistance and also price action, it's very much okay for you to even place your order or to even go into forex trading and start making your profits. This is just a bullish trend line, which is I call an ascending trend line. I will also show us what a descending trend line looks like. I've shown us where this trend line is being broken and was acting as a resistance. Every ascending trend line is your support. Is your support, which you have to pay much attention to. At the point in time where the market is reacting on your trend line, you have to pay much attention to it to see what will happen next. If it will be broken or it will continue the trend. That is for ascending trend line. I will take us into descending trend line. Now, let me see. Let me go back to a larger chart to get a much big picture. Okay, I think I've seen a trend. You can see what happened here. I can pick this. This is my first point. Wait. Sorry. Let me delete it. This is my first point. I'm coming. If I want to draw a descending trend line, this will be my first point. We call something peak and trough. If you understand English very well, you know the meaning. When we are talking about trough is like the top of something, and the peak is a support of a particular thing. Let me just use something. I don't want to talk in foreign time. I want to talk in just in simple English. A trough is like a top, while peak is like a bottom. And we have a peak and a trough on a candle. Let me use this candle as an example. This is the peak and this is the trough of this candle, and this is the peak. If you are drawing a descending trend line, you have to connect at least 2 troughs for you to get your descending trend line. I will pick this one as my first point, and I will pick this as my second point. This as my second point. Now, if I want to join this point together, let me zoom in the chart again. Now, to join this trend together, my first point and my second point. Good. This is a typical example of a descending trend line. You can see what happened here now. Even if you are not selling this market at this point, maybe you are waiting for a confirmation. Maybe this trend is a valid trend. But as a trader, you know that okay, this trend line, this trend is has ended here, because this is like a significant resistance for you as a trader if you are very much observant. But if you are not entering this trend in the beginning, you have to wait for this. This is your first point, and this will be your second point. There must be some space between the 2 points. If you join just 1, 2 on trend together, at least if this candle opens here and it went up to touch this point and it came back down. If you join this trend line between these 2 candles, this first candle and this second candle, even before all this candle formed, if you draw a trend line here now, even okay, you are looking for a sell, that's why you are drawing your descending trend line. After this scene now, the second candle formed, go to this trend line, it got rejected. The third candle form again, it got to this trend line, it got rejected. The fourth candle form again, it got to this trend line, it got rejected. You know that the sellers are rejecting the market. We should have The sellers are still dominating the market. For you as a trader now, I can say, okay, for a trader now, for you, if you want to enter this cell now, you can, you can place your entry here. ADB said something about entry and exit in the market. It's a very topic on its own. It's a skill on its own. You have to learn that, but with some experience, you know where to exit and to enter a market. With this now, as an experienced trader, if you see this type of rejection, you know that no, sellers are sending a signal to you. This is like a communication. They are communicating with you with these candles and this trend line. That the market is telling you as a trader that the market is, the sellers are rejecting the market there. There is a selling prayer at that particular area. So you have to pay much attention. As a trader, you have to sell your pending order, a sell stop order here. So as a trader, if you even place your sell stop order here now, at least to this point now, if you say you want to get out of the market at this point now, if you have your target, which is your take profits, at least at this point now you have maybe around 100 pips or even 110 pips. It's most for you as a daily trader. But after some time, the market reverses again to this trend line. It got rejected again. It's an opportunity for you as a trader to even enter another sell. And you can see what happened next. The market got here, but there is a rejection here as well. You can see this candle. This is a pin hammer. Pin hammer is a hammer candlestick is very much important in the market. You have to pay much attention to it. That is the area whereby a seller or the buyers are rejecting the market. You can see the buyers are saying no. Sellers, it's time for you to retire. And the market push up to, but you as a trader that draw your trend line, you still have something that is acting as a resistance. This is a resistance. This trend line is resisting the market and it's pushing it back down. But before you can say this resistance is being broken, you have to, you need a solid candle to break this trend line. You can see what happened here next again. The trend got here, got rejected again. Because do you see this inverted hammer? We call this inverted hammer or a hanging hammer. This is a pin hammer. This is an inverted or a hanging hammer. You can see what happened here now. When the buyers go to this your trend line, the seller reject it again. They reject the trend. They say no, we are still in charge. And you can see what happened next again. The market sold a bit. So some maybe even 100 or even 200 pips. At some point, the buyers enter the market again and say no. After we have to enter this market again. But you can see what happened here. The market got here, rejected, got here, rejected, got here, rejected, got here, rejected. But you can see this candle. This candle push, the bullish candle push and close above this trend line. You can see what happened. The candle closed above this trend line. But there was a retracement. The buyer said, no, I'm not yet tired. The market retraced a little, but for this trend line to be broken, as a trader, you have to get out of the market. That's a sign for you that the trend is about to change. And you can see what happened next. There was a bullish trend to some point here. But there was a rejection here. The market is retraced, and also there was a resistance here that pushed the market back down to this area. So this is a typical example of a descending trend line. And the one I showed you earlier was a typical example of an ascending trend line. So these are what we take note in the market before we can make our decision in the market. These are what we put together. The trend line, the price action, the support and resistance, and other technical indicators. We have moving average, we have some other, we have other indicators in the market. But you as a trader, even if you combine only trend line, support and resistance, and your candlestick together, at least you can see yourself that you'll be making some profit in the market with just these three technical tools compared together. Like I said yesterday, as I was taking us through the PDF, and I keep on clamoring on it, that candlestick is not the only tools for you to make decision in the market. You have to combine it with some other technical tools. This trend line is a technical tools in the market, also with the candlesticks. A trend line can be used as your support and resistance, like I said earlier, but it's a diagonal support and resistance. This descending trend line is your resistance. You can see the moment this trend line was broken, it started acting as a support. it starts acting as a support. I think I can still show us where a trend line is acting as a solid support or a resistance. I've shown us where a ascending trend line was acting as a resistance. You can see, I showed this earlier, where a trend line can be, where a support trend line can be acting as a resistance. The trend line was broken here, it traced a little to this point, but it was rejected. And there was a massive sell in the market. So all these things, but for you to draw your trend line, you have to go to a bigger time frame, like a daily time frame or 4-hour time frame. You can see this is a 4-hour time frame. As a daily trader, if I join these two points together, it's enough for me to draw my trend line. You can see what happened here next. You can see there was a rejection. The trend line was acting as a resistance. You can see it was acting as a resistance before it was broken here. You can see I got this bullish candle very much visible in a 4-hour time frame. You can see this bullish candle that broke this trend line. When the trend line was even when the buyers are testing the trend line, there was a wick. There was a wick. The candle went above the trend line, but it closed below it. But here now, the candle that broke this trend line closed significantly above the trend line, which send a signal to the trader that your trend line has been broken. So you have to take note. Is either you get out of the market or you enter another trade. You place another buy. If you are on a set order before, you have to close it and enter, or is either you enter or you wait for the market to retrace before you join the trend. Okay, now if I draw this and I draw this at the ascending trend line here, but I was on this descending trend line. Before I can draw this trend line, I have to take note. This is a pin bar. Sorry, this is a pin bar. But I was still on that descending trend line, but I will still be looking out at this. Immediately this trend line was broken. It sent a signal to me that this my descending trend line has been broken and the trend time has ended and the price have entered the market. So then I will draw that trend line, another ascending trend line for the bullish or for the buyers. Then I repeat this 1 or 2 points. You can see what happened at the top points. Before it was broken and there was a sold. So these are the power of trend line and support and resistance with, in combination with candlesticks. So these are just the indicators that the traders make use in the market to make some decision before they enter a particular position in the market. This for you, if I want to maybe take this class longer, I would even love to show us much of this on another pair. For you to some will be saying maybe he has mastered that pair alone. But we have some traders that trade only Euro USD alone, and we have some traders that trade other pairs, other maybe GBP, other maybe AUD or SZD. If I'm a Euro USD trader now, at least I will pay much attention to this and I will know what is happening in the market. With this Euro USD alone, I will make my money. But for a trader like maybe a daily trader, you can't base your pairs alone on Euro USD. You have to trade another pairs as a daily trader, because sometimes there might be a dragging in the market for some days. For you as a daily trader, you can't wait from days. For days, you have to go to another pairs to check what is happening there. So that's the power of trend line. And I think I've done justice to that. And if you have some questions, I think I will take some questions now. I can see some people who were raising their hand. Let me check. Some people were raising their hand. Babatunde Oluwatobi. Okay, sorry, let me go with Adodo Josiah. What's your question?
This thing hard do. Please, in the mentorship program, will you start all over again? Will you start all over, like, let us know everything again?
Yes, definitely.
Because I don't get one single thing from this thing.
From the beginning. from the
Thank
beginning.
God.
If you are joining the mentorship platform, you will take this thing from the scratch, from the beginning. We can guarantee you
Okay.
that. Thank you very much. And Musairu Mohammed, what's your question?
Yes, sir. I can see that this trend line all budgets down to the candlesticks, and I think I missed a class on the candlesticks, so I don't really understand it much.
I think that is your.
Thank God the first day I read it so well because I was like I attended a class before, so just trying to just understand. So
if you're having interest in the mentorship class, this thing will be taken again from the beginning, and you'll be given some materials that cover these candlesticks, trend line, and also some other technical indicators, and also some fundamental training on this studies.
all right.
So, but
Thank
if
you.
you not be if you won't be joining the trend line, you can the mentorship class, you can go on Google to go and browse and read on your own. But for you to have someone that will be that will take you through all this, then I will advise you if you can join the trend line and the mentorship class, will be very much okay for you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank
Babatunde Oluwatobi, what's your question?
No, hello, sir.
Yes, I can hear you.
You've answered the question already. You starting again when we join the mentorship class.
Okay, thank you very much.
And my question is, okay, don't worry.
Okay, thank you.
I thought I was the only one having problem with this trend. Like I was thinking Orimi to go already. But
this just a 5 days training. It can't be easy. It's just as if maybe you got admission into a particular university or a school, and you just attend the lecture for the first or second time, and you just this is getting hard.
okay,
There will still be there will still be some classes, but these 5 days can't cover everything. Either you go within yourself to go and browse and get your boy, or you get yourself a mentor that will take you through over this. That's just it. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Usman Abiodun, what's your question?
My question is, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you very clearly.
Okay. Now, my question is, when drawing the trend line, are we to consider the body of the candlestick only, or we are also to consider the wick of the candlestick?
If it is an ascending trend line, you have there are some candles that will not have a wick, but it will be acting as a second point for you to draw your trend line. You can just place it at the peak. If it is a ascending trend line, I said something about trough and peak at the bottom of the candle. But for a trend line to be more valid, there must be a price action of candle that will form, that will tell you. But sometimes it can only be a bullish candle that will form. Or I discussed on candlestick yesterday. I discussed ramming candlesticks. I discussed a golfing bar. I discussed some dragonfly and others. So it's as a for some engulfing bar now, there might not be some wick in the candle, but you must draw your trend line. The important thing is just for you just pick 1 or 2 points for you to draw your trend line. That's the most important thing.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Shibuzo, Mr. Shibuzo. Mr. Shibuzo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Okay, what's the question?
Yeah, my own question is why drawing? I just want to make a confirmation about the trend line.
Okay.
Are you saying the ascending trend line is a resistance, while the descending trend line is the resistance, while the ascending trend line is the support?
Yes, is a descending trend line is the resistance, but not when you draw the two. There's no way you can draw a descending trend line and an ascending trend line. You can only draw that when you are about to form a channel.
Yeah.
So we will get that. ADB said we discuss channel maybe on Friday, maybe tomorrow or Saturday. We will discuss channel. Right. For you to draw a channel, it can be a diagonal channel or a horizontal channel.
Okay.
For you to draw a channel, it can be two ways. So
Okay.
with that, you can have your resistance. So, but if you are drawing a single trend line, which is a resistance or which is a ascending or a descending trend line, your ascending trend line is your support, which you have to pay much attention to.
Okay.
And your descending trend line is your resistance, which you have to pay much attention to.
Okay.
That's just the difference is there. Thank you
Yeah.
very
Thanks,
much.
boss.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the last question, this is Elizabeth Folonshaw.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Good afternoon.
Okay. I want to ask that, is it the kind of trade that we see next that is going to determine the kind of trend line? Like, is it a bearish trade? Like, for instance, where we stopped now, what kind of trend line are we going to draw? Is it going to be an ascending one or a descending one?
You have to picture your charts from a bigger time frame for you to know which trend we are in. If a particular trend is about to end, or maybe a trend has ended, and a new trend want to begin, then you can start looking for where to pick your 2 points for you to draw a trend line. It can be an ascending or a descending trend line. If maybe there was a bearish trend that was forming before, and it goes to some particular support, and the trend ended there, and a bullish trend is about to begin, then you can begin to look for where to draw your ascending trend line.
Okay.
So that's just it. You draw a trend line according to the trend.
Okay.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Welcome. And I think that is all for trend line and coming. I want to check if there's another